What's going on, people? Welcome to the live match reaction. Fulham 1, Palace 2. What a win. What a massive, massive win. The skipper with the header towards the end of the game to get us a win. Of course, Nketiah with the goal in the first half. We're going to be discussing everything related to the game. Of course, we've got smiles on our faces, and hopefully you do as well. Unless you're a Fulham fan watching this, you won't do. So if you do enjoy the stream, please do hit the like button, as well as subscribe to the channel if you're new. And the lines will be open in a few minutes' time, where you can call into the show to have your say on a wild game. I'm joined by Lou here. Lou, you know what? I'll start off with your thoughts on the game. I just think, regardless of the performance, with context of everything that's going on and what we spoke about ahead of this game, with fatigue, with fixture congestion, and Munoz being out, which we'll discuss, Sarr not being in this game, massive 3 points to push us up to fourth. And credit to the players, credit to the manager. Got spot on.
Yeah, man. I just want to reiterate, time and time again, we go through a couple of losses or a couple of bad results, and Glasner comes out and he just shuts everyone up. Because after those, was it 2 losses in a row? Was it 2 in a row?
Yeah, it was to Strasbourg and
Strasbourg and United. Everything was falling apart. The players are knackered. We're not rotating, and obviously there is like a case to be worried about fatigue. But like today, we had that extra day's rest, which you was talking about. We've been talking about, and I thought we were unbelievable today. I thought we played some great football. Really, we had loads of chances in the second half. Pino had a couple of chances. Mateta had another one. Uche had a couple of chances. I thought we were just brilliant all round. Gahey he's a level above. Mitchell, unbelievable. I thought the pivot of Kamada and Wharton it's light years ahead of any other midfield combination we have.
Yeah.
And the biggest shout out I want to give is Nathaniel Klein, because when that lineup came out, I think we was all a bit worried. Klein hasn't played much. We know what Munoz offers, and we know, and was missing Sarr as well. It's not like we had Klein and Sarr. Eddie came in, got his goal, but yeah, I just want to give Klein a lot of plaudits. But to come in as a 34-year-old, played hardly any minutes, and put in a performance like that it's unbelievable, and it just shows how together the camp is and how good of a manager that Glasner is.
Yeah, look, unreal win, and I mean, he doesn't need to prove anything at this point. He's already proven everything he had to last season. But if he just had to, say in terms of backings, like, if it's not this manager, it will be no other manager, in my opinion. So, he's proven it once again. And Nathaniel Klein starting at right wing back. I know you mentioned how good he was, and I thought so as well. And he had that opportunity in the first half where potentially, maybe with the first touch was off, but he actually did kind of help him in the box, and then the shot wasn't that great. But the fact that he can come in, that was my biggest worry saying that, but it wasn't like I wasn't losing my head. I know some people were genuinely losing their head. It's good to see that, he can step in an odd occasion when
because people were complaining. I think Mitchell and was it the FA Cup semi-final had those cutbacks. Munoz has missed loads of chances like that before. It's on his left foot. He's a bit rusty, but I thought he played with intelligence. I thought he played bravely. I thought he kept the ball well. I thought he was composed. That was just he rolled back the years a bit. And I think it might have helped Mitchell give him a bit more license to go forward, because obviously Klein wasn't going to bomb on so much. But I generally think the midfield too, they ran the show today. I think they dominated Sander Berge. Some of the balls from Adam Wharton. If his passing was off against Burnley, I don't know what that was today, because that ball outside of the foot for the first goal, then the reverse for the second.
I think for the whole game, there were like 1 or 2 moments where he had those moments like behind. However, this was a typical Adam Wharton performance. I think from minute 1 to minute last, there were just so many balls in behind, which you can't really, there's not anyone in particular that stick out. Of course, the pass to Nketiah was brilliant, but he was very good on the ball. And I said it in the preview. I was looking at the 2 days versus 3 days rest. Do you think when you're looking at Water's performance, don't worry, do whatever you need to do. Or if you're ready, if you're looking at Water's performance today, do you think it's a case of that extra day's rest? Because when you're not just looking at even not just Wharton alone, the whole team, I felt like, and even in the second half, we didn't fall off. So is it a case of the 3 days rest being that moment? Because normally after Europe, we only have 2 days rest. And today, thankfully, we had the 3 days after.
Yeah, I definitely think the 3 days helped 100%. Also, he always says like winning helps recover as well. So we grounded out that victory against Burnley, probably give them loads of confidence. I think everyone was really good today. I thought the subs were really good. Lerma coming on. Who else? I thought Convo done well when he come on at right wing back. Obviously, he's not naturally. So like I think he got in once and he wasted it a bit. But I thought every single person that came on contributed today. As much as Uche lacked a little bit of quality, he put himself about. He got chances, and you could see how happy he was that he played at the end when he was celebrating with the fans. Like the squad just looked so together, and we needed that going into Shelbourne because I think we need to go there and win, but we also need to like score a few goals. And it's really good that we've showed that we can win without Munoz on Sarr against Fulham away from home. Like we've shown that the squad can still do what needs to be done without I would say that our two most dangerous players and probably where most of our pace comes from. Like we had a lack of pace in the team today. I think Eddie was probably our quickest player, then Mitchell, but I thought we played some brilliant football. I think Glasner adapted his tactics slightly, but still kept the same formation. Yeah, I just think it was all round unbelievable. And for a team who's meant to be tired and Fulham playing one game a week, we were the only team that was going to look like who was going to score the second goal. We look brilliant second half.
Yeah, I agree. In the second half, I thought we controlled it well, and they barely created any chances, if any. And you know, we were very tight. I just felt like as the game was going on, we're going to get that opportunity. We are going to get an opportunity, and Gehi steps up once again and with a massive goal. But for you, what do you think this squad can achieve now? I mean, we are fourth. We are in December. We've still got a lot of games to play in December. But today's win gives us that little bit of a boost when you're looking at the next Premier League game against City, where, you know, even if we did get a draw, which will be difficult, it is City and we are coming off a European game and we know we struggle after Europe. You know, we should be there and about, hopefully, throughout December in a top, not 4 race or top 5 race because of that extra Champions League slot that normally gets given. Do you think that's a realistic target or?
Yeah, I definitely think it's one game at a time. Like Patrick says, it's Shelbourne next. We need to win that game to put us in the driving seat for Coops as the last game. But yeah, I think this team can achieve great things as long as we keep our players fit and we reinvest in January. That's the main thing. Like I said, I wanted to get through to January in the top 8 of the Europa Conference League and still be in the top 10 going well in the Premier League. It looks like we're ahead of schedule, even though it's quite a compact Premier League and 4 or 5 points separate going down to like 12th. So it's just maintain. Being top 8 for both leagues will be unbelievable. If we go into January and we're in the top 8 of both the Conference and the Premier League, literally Glasner's doing magic all over again.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's been doing magic since he's joined. But Eddie Nketiah, of course, was on the score sheet today's first Premier League start. What do you think about his position? Up front, number 10. I personally feel like left side of number 10, as you saw there when he scored that goal, is his best position if he's going to play in the 10. I think the right-hand side, he can't really cut in. He likes to cut in with his right foot to have that shot, which we saw. But what did he make of his overall performance and even his position today? Because he did rotate a few times with Yerry Mapino.
Yeah, I thought he was good today. I think he struggled a little bit against Bassi, the physical side. And then when he moved over to the left, that's where he got his goal. I think it's going to breed confidence. It was his first start, so I expected a little bit of fatigue and rust. So going into the next games, we're going to really need him. So, yeah, I'm happy with his performance.
Yeah. And it's going to be a massive game against Shelbourne, which, of course, the preview for that will be dropping. And I'm going
to let someone else jump in, yeah, because I've got to shoot off. I know there's a big queue of people wanting to come on today. So let the next person come on.
All right then. All right, take care, bro. Okay, let's bring on the first guest of the evening. As always, if you do enjoy the show, how many likes are we on right now? We have to be hitting the like button, especially after that win. I think we're nearly on 100. We're on 92, so not too far away from 100. Please do hit the like button and also call into the show if you haven't even done so before. Today can be the day. Animal, welcome onto the show. 2-1 win against Fulham away from home. I know people were talking about the performance against Burnley. Oh, it wasn't too great, and some people were a bit worried. But today, once again, go out there and you know what? Against a more difficult position, I thought we played even better. What was the difference today?
What was the difference? I don't know. A little bit of energy, I think. I thought we controlled the game a lot better than we did against Burnley. It looked hairy against Burnley in the second half, and that's when we kind of dropped off. But today, we kind of just rode with it, and we cracked on and got the result. Really, it was a great ball in by Pino right into the danger area, and a fantastic header by Gay. Captain fantastic. Probably going to be my player of the season, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, he's been unreal. I know how good he is defensively, and actually, to be fair, we know how good he is on the ball today. But once again, proving big with a goal. I know it's not his first goal of the season, but big goals, big goals so far this season, and we're gonna miss him when he goes. That's the only sad thing about today. We're not gonna really miss him when he goes, but you could tell, that's the difference. People, Liverpool fans or neutral fans didn't understand. Oh, why don't you take the money? Why don't you take 25, 30 mil or whatever? You're going to lose him on the free. Well, this is the difference he can make. I'm not saying today's goal is worth 25 to 30 mil, but his performances so far this season is one of the reasons why we're up there in the Premier League.
Yeah, he's consistently playing above 8 out of 10 each game. And for him to get that goal today, he looked ecstatic about it, and that's what we want, really, isn't it? For a player who's on in the final months of his contract, playing on 50 grand a week, and for him to be as passionate as he still is only a win for us. It'd be interesting to see what Liverpool do, with Virgil van Dijk sort of not having his best season, Konate as well. So I hope we don't lose him in January, but I won't be surprised if we did.
Yeah, I mean, today there's so many great performances. Adam Wharton and Tyrick Mitchell really stood out to me. For you, any individuals you want to mention on?
I thought Kamada was like sort of his industrious self again today. When he moved up into the 10, we saw a little bit less from him, but getting him to go up the field a little bit at that stage of the game, when you've played the whole sort of game beforehand in central midfield, was a little bit, it's going to be tough for anyone, I think. But he still did really well. I think Kamada's worth a shout as well. But the back three, as usual, and Kleiny, obviously, I agree with everything that Lou said, that Kleiny was he didn't do anything wrong,
Nothing.
or he didn't do much wrong. And he was very careful with everything he did, which I appreciate. It means a lot to him to be on that field and playing. So it was really good to see.
Yeah, I do think that extra day's rest definitely helped us today. I look, it might seem a bit too basic, but there's no way we go from Burnley to Fulham and the rest doesn't contribute to it. There is. We just looked much fresher with 3 days rest rather than 2 days rest. I know 24 hours may not seem like a massive long time, but definitely does help in terms of recovery on the pitch. And the good thing is, to be fair, we got Shelbourne coming up, and we got another 3 days rest before that game, which is going to be a massive one. But before we talk about that, Nketiah on a score sheet today, his first Premier League start. We did speak about this, whether potentially Nketiah could be the option coming off the bench because he didn't start against Burnley, but today he did, and he took his opportunity well.
Yeah, put himself about. He played a lot better today than we've seen him in the last couple of games. I thought he was good. Talking about Nketiah, the finish was brilliant. That instinct, there are times when you want a player to be selfish, and there are times when it doesn't help us to be selfish. And today, I think we saw the flip of both sides. We saw Nketiah where that ball from Wharton was obviously meant for Kamada, but he saw the runner and he said, "You know what? This is my ball." And he went for it, he took it, and he put it in the net. And it was a really well taken goal and a striker's goal. And then you've got Uche, who came on. I was happy to see Uche come on. I thought he played quite decently well. But that final moment where he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, or he's got the defender there, he could see the ball over to Devaney, but he decides to sort of keep going with it and sort of fall over. But it's that yin and yang, isn't it? It's when to be greedy and when not to be greedy. And Uche could have found Devaney with that ball, and it was a bit of a shame. But otherwise, I thought Uche was decent, and I don't see why we can't bring him on at the same time in games in future to give Mateta a bit of a rest, because obviously Nketiah is starting now.
Yeah, would you say that he would be the number 9 option now going forward? Because there's been question marks about whether he'll be playing as the 10 or the 9, but today came on for Mateta and was playing up front. Do you see his role being there going forward if he does get any opportunities?
Yeah, I'd like to see him. I'd like to see more of him in that position. I think he played all right when he came on. He was decent. He was getting himself about and putting a little bit of pressure on the defense. So yeah, I do want to see him in that position a little bit more often.
Yeah. Now looking ahead to Shelbourne, massive game. Even today, even if we drew today, it would have been fine in terms of where we are in the league. But a win today, just massive in the league. But Conference League is where we are 18th and we desperately need a win. But after what you saw today, after the 3 days rest and today's performance, are you confident, like I am, a bit more for the Shelbourne game, despite Munoz could be missing? Well, based on what Glasner said, he won't be available to City, and of course, Sarr will be out as well, you'd think.
Yeah, it depends on what kind of team Glasner's going to put out. I think we're in that position where we need to be winning these games, but we also need to be giving some players a rest. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Whether we'll see Soso instead of Mitchell and Benitez instead of Henderson. I have got no idea at this point. But we'll have to see what Glasner does. But they have to be games that we win.
Yeah. What do you think we can achieve then this season in the league? I asked the same question to Lou. We are 4th right now as we're speaking in December, not the second game week of the league or anything like that. I know a decent amount of games have been played. We know where the squad is at. But is top 5 the spot to target, or is that too early to say?
I think it can be a target, like for sure. Whether we'll reach that target is another thing.
What do you think?
I'd like to see us in the top 5 for sure. I think with a little bit of backing in January from the board, get a couple more bodies in. I think there's no reason why we can't maintain these results and punch above our weight, as it were. And with a little bit of luck, we might be able to do that.
Yeah, and I think massive credit once again goes to Oliver Glasner. Today, the fact that we managed to get the 3 points, with players missing in itself is difficult, regardless of fatigue. You're missing Sarr, who's just starter, and we've seen the impact that he's had with this Palace side since he's joined. And in today's game, he would have been ideal with spacing behind. He wasn't there. Daniel Munoz, that was a big shock. People worried even when he wasn't there. That right-hand side is completely new. Nketiah's first start, Klein's first start for Palace in God knows how long, and he still managed to find a way to get the job done. I mean, this manager is just unreal. Absolutely unreal. I don't know what else to really say about him. He's already proven himself with the FA Cup win and the Community Shield as well. But the fact that we're still going on and on and on, and we're not really dropping off despite the plays, even after the game. I don't know if you saw it, but on Sky, Gay and Nketiah were talking, and they did say, look, we're tired. We are tired, but we're looking forward to the next game. We just want to rest and go again.
Is that me? Yeah, it's me, isn't it?
No. That was me. Sorry. I was talking about Oliver Glasner. He managed to get the job done. Sorry, my mic disconnected.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the subs today were perfect. They were exactly what I think we needed to see. The guys working wonders, and I think maybe with some serious backing in January, like something that really impresses Glasner, that little bit of like a leap of faith in Glasner, and maybe that will be returned and he signs a new deal. Because I think he's great, and we, anything that we can do to try and hold on to him. I know I know that there will be bigger clubs looking for him, but I think he's connected to this club. I think he wants to really achieve something, but he needs to, feel like he's being backed and feel like that the ambition that he has for us is being reflected from the board. This will all be, whether Glasner signs with us or not is all going to come down to the relationship with the board, I believe.
Yeah, 100%. And let's see what happens against Shelbourne. Of course, take a game at a time. And hopefully, based on today's performance, hopefully the players can pull through that one as well, and we can get 3 points. But look, great talking to you once again, Animal.
Yeah, you too. Up the Palace, everyone.
Up the Palace. That was Animal having his say. If you do want to call into the show, you can do so by clicking on the link in the live comment section. Just a quick update from Oliver Glasner. Of course, today he's not complaining post-match. He's happy. And I don't know what you lot thought in the chat, but for Glasner, he said the following. He said, man of the match, for me, Nathaniel Klein was man of the match today. 34 years of age. This shows me who we are. So Oliver Glasner with higher praises for Nathaniel Klein. And I thought he played well. There was not any moments of the game where I was looking at Klein, even defensively, to be fair, saying, oh no, like, come on, you need to stop getting beat. Like, he was comfortable in his position. He was comfortable. Of course, it's like a one-off. If you was to ask him to play week in, week out, and maybe we might have a bit more concern. But thankfully, Munoz doesn't seem like a long-term injury. He should be back for the City game. And Nathaniel Klein even could have had a goal today. So I think on both sides of the pitch, very good. I think the only reason why he got subbed off was due to his lack of playing time. I don't think he was ever going to survive 90 minutes, with not playing 90 minutes in such a long time. So hats off to him. Hats off to Klein today. And also to the players around him. As good as Klein was, I thought Richards was very good in terms of support role as well. He was very close to Klein throughout the game. Whenever, the opposition, whoever it was down the left-hand side was on a ball, you saw Richards was right there alongside Kleiny. So we didn't really put him in 1v1 situation. And I think the whole team came out to help him out. And I think he performed well based on that. But Oliver Glasner has high praises for him. Let's bring on the next guest of the evening, Nosa.
Yes,
massive win, 2-1 win away from home. People were a bit concerned after the Burnley game because of the performances, but today with the extra days rest, that was Pete Palace, I thought.
Yeah, this was top stuff for the manager, the subs, the starting 11, the whole squad. I was really impressed by the win today because I watched the game against Fulham versus City. And Fulham, they cause a lot of threats with the likes of Chukwueze. Wilson, obviously, he showcased his talent today. And we especially in the second half, I really liked how we played. We dictated the game to our level, to our pace. We're going to play how we want to play. And in as much as they had the ball sometimes, they wasn't really effective. And, credit to players like Klein coming in, like you just said, 34 years old, that backline. That backline is a backline that a lot of teams would envy, So I'm just very happy for the team. And I think T. Mitch today was outstanding. But I think it was you or Lou that said that given the fact that Munoz he wasn't playing, there was a lot of attacking. The attacking outlet was on his side, mainly. So I just think every ball that he put in the box was a ball where the defenders had to think, but the centre-backs were just hesitant to clear it. The one where Uche nearly scored, the one where Nketiah was fumbling with the keeper, and there was just a lot of crosses within the 6-yard range. And as a centre-back, you never really want to get within that zone of just clearing the box because you could score an own goal and things like that. But moving on, I just think that we just played really well, man. Like, overall, I just think it was just a good tactical game plan from the manager, bringing off Nketiah and Mateta off and bringing on Uche. Uche, I was happy with his work. Like Animal said, he had a good solid 30-25 minutes of just terrorizing the centre backs. And of course, he's rusty. Most attackers, when they come on around this time period, especially when you're not getting consistent game time, you're not gonna have that fluidity in your game. So I was happy he got in the right positions, troubling their centre backs as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Quickly on Mitchell, I know you were saying how he had more opportunities to get forward today because Munoz wasn't there, but I think he's genuinely, not only today's game, but if you look at his season overall and talking about Glasner getting the best out of plays, I think he's improved a lot going forward because he would be in similar positions when Glasner first joined, but his crossing, for example, has really stood out, and it's an area that's surprised me a lot, to be fair, because even, Glasner was mentioned about this when, quite a while back, I think he was, saying that he's not a traditional left wing back. I wonder if you asked the question to Glasner right now, how he feels about it, but he has improved a lot. And today, some of the balls into the box was absolutely fantastic from Mitchell.
Yeah, I agree. If you rewind it like 2-3 years ago, there'll be a lot of periods when he's just playing left back on a flat four. he wouldn't even want to move the ball forward. Like, he'll just pass it back. Today he went past players like dropping a shoulder, just doing a simple like drift inside, and I was really impressed with it, with his overall package. Like, even if you watched it on Sky Sports, Clinton Morrison was saying he's just so shocked he hasn't even had a call up like recently, which is, I know we've got our Palace cap on, but I think apart from, who's the geezer that plays for Man City? What's his name? O'Neill or something like that?
Yeah.
I think I would say he's had a better season than him as an English left back, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. But I just think, why couldn't he get called up? Especially if you want to play a more defensive system. Mitchell clears everyone defensively. Offensively, question marks, of course. But I don't know why he can't get called up. Because me personally, as Palace fans, it's like, is this the big club bias that's settling in? I don't know.
Yeah, well, in a funny biased Palace way, I'm not doubt to say he hasn't been called up, because we have been speaking about fatigue. But do you think there is a chance from March onwards? I think there's only, last sort of friendlies in March that he could get called up if he continues performing like this. Because surely, like, when you look at the England team, there isn't that many great left backs. And Mitchell,
who's the other one that plays for Newcastle? What's his name?
My head is Lewis.
Lewis Hall. Is it Lewis Hall?
Lewis Hall, yeah, Lewis Hall. That's it.
He's all right, but I don't think he's like distinctive.
But Mitchell's been very good though this season. How many players have gone past Mitchell? Like, defensively, he's been excellent, absolutely excellent.
He went to Paris, he couldn't do it. He went to Clineside, he couldn't do it. So he played through the middle. Like, I was a bit. To be fair, that's not my worry right now. It's just how we do the next game in the Europa Conference. But I'm just a bit disappointed. Like, how he's not called up. Like, just give the guy a chance.
Exactly. But today, of course, we got up to 4th in the league. I haven't really been asking a question in the league in terms of what we can do. I thought today is a good time to ask it, whilst we're, in December, 2 wins now in a row against Burnley and Fulham. Decent amount of games played. I believe 15 games. What can the squad achieve this season, in your opinion?
I think we can get I think we can get from the range of 6 to 8, in my opinion. If we're consistent, I think we can get that range. That's just how I see the season going, because in as much as we're winning these type of games, there's 38 games in the Prem season, and Europe, I still think we need to really capitalize on just getting top 8. If we get top 8, then my opinion might change, because those 2 games in February can potentially cost us. Like, it can cost us with fatigue, injuries, just load management of players, and we don't have the biggest squads. So I think around that range will be a successful season, in my opinion.
What about Nketiah? Scores today in his first Premier League start. I've said that I believe his best role, if he's playing in number 10, is down the left-hand side, so he can cut in with his, with his right foot to take a shot. And today he managed to get it done. What was your thoughts on his performance?
I thought Nketiah played well. He had good touches of the ball. With Nketiah, I've always said his technical foundation is decent. It's quite good, but it's just that his decision making is a bit all over the place sometimes. And that was similar to Mateta when he first came in. Like, you saw the technical foundation was solid, but Nketiah today, more decisive. He was selfish. I need to score that goal. That's a striker's finish, in my opinion. You take a touch, you set yourself up well, and the quality to hit it, low driven shot in the bottom corner. If you give Nketiah that opportunity beginning of last season, bro, that's going to Rosette potentially. But you can see the confidence he's playing with, and how happy he's playing with. Just the decision making isn't like amazing, but there's a distinction from last season to this season, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's been improving, definitely. And I think Glasner is trusting him more to come off the bench, but of course gave him his first start today. And talking about starts, looking ahead to the game on Thursday against Shelbourne, how do you think Glasner's going to approach that one? Do you think he goes with the same starting 11 with Daniel Munoz out, or do you expect a bit of rotation? I'm more looking at the midfield, because he has played about with the midfield in European games. And I thought Kamada and Wharton had a fantastic game today with 3 days rest. But how do you think Glasner will be approaching it?
It is like, I think we should just, in my opinion, I think we should just go out and just play the best attackers. Like Kamada, Wharton, they're the one that's going to influence the game. Shelbourne, they're going to play a low block. I just 100% think they're going to play a low block. We've tried to play Lerma in these type of games. Lerma's good at what he does, but you saw when he came on, we tried to dictate the game. He had a couple of loose passes, and we're not trying to see that as fans against Shelbourne. You want to create, you want to control your passes and dictate the game with the quality of players you have. And I think Lerma should, probably come on like how he did today, influence the game in another way. But Kamada and Wharton, they should be the one to start in. In regards to the right wing back, Klein played all right. I think he had a solid game given the fact that he rarely plays.
Yeah, I don't think we've got any other options, to be fair, unless JD Campbell was to start at right wing back.
Do you think he's going to start? Do you think Campbell would be ideal at right wing back?
I don't even know. That's a very good question. It kind of depends on how many minutes Klein can play, I guess. He played a decent amount today. After today, because you don't want to overload him as well. I know he had to play as much, but it's not like a case of going 0 to 100 real quick and putting loads of minutes on for him. Even Nketiah, I don't think Nketiah was having a bad game. I think the reason why he got subbed off is because of just managing his minutes. Glaser did mention it pre-Burnley game how he wasn't ready yet to start, and today he was ready to start, but he wasn't ready to play 9 minutes. So he's building his minutes as it goes on. So I don't know whether Klein could start and maybe get subbed off at similar time than he did today. But let's see. Look, happy days, and hopefully we can get the 3 points in a Conference League, which is going to be the massive test because we can't really afford to drop any more points there. But no, sir, great talking to you, bro. Hopefully catch up with you again soon.
Have a nice week.
You too. Take care. That was Nosa having a say. If you haven't already done so, please do hit the like button and call into the show as well. You can click on the pinned comment. Let's bring on the next guest of the evening. Henry.
Hey.
Massive win today. 2-1 win away from home, up to 4th in the league. What a time to be alive, to be a Palace fan. It's just unreal right now.
I'm so
it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, I know. Mate, I am so happy after today. So happy because I think we all felt this feeling of sort of like, no, it's all falling apart after the Man United game. To bounce back in the way we did against Burnley. But today, to get the win, it was just, I really think it's such a testament to Glasner and the players to get the win today. Like, Fulham, I thought Fulham were going to beat us before the game. I just thought Fulham, with their recent form, the way that they've been playing, and I thought we've had a lot of games recently, and the performance was good against Burnley, but it was a bit shaky at times defensively, in terms of a few moments here and there. I just think we just really. Glasner's working miracles. He really is working miracles with this squad. But I was really impressed with certain players who had to step in today. And the two that I want to highlight, really, Mitchell was excellent. He was excellent. And I thought the emphasis was on him to step up even more today in the absence of Munoz, because Munoz provides us with a lot of attacking threat down his side. So we have Mitchell and Munoz providing that attacking threat, but today it was just the emphasis was more on Mitchell, and I thought he really stepped up to that role very, very well. And Klein, that was that was a really, really solid, good shift from Klein today. From what we know of him as a player, we know he's not going to be Munoz in terms of bombing up down the wing, but he barely put a foot wrong. He kept it simple. Defensively, I thought he was really strong. I don't remember many Fulham players getting past him, and he linked up the play really well. There was that moment where the ball got caught up in his feet and he had a chance to score, and I was thinking, go on, Clyde, you get the goal, but no. It was just really good to see him. It's good to know that he can step into that role if he needs to and do a job, because he's the only other right back we have unless Campbell plays there. So,
yeah. Well, Cardines is out. Corporo also out with both of them out with an injury. So hopefully they'll be back sooner rather than later. But for me, I think the man of the match award was between Wharton and Mitchell. I thought Wharton was back to his best. You can see why he's created the most chances so far this season, more than any other Palace player. for us. His passing was fantastic, and to me, I think the main difference from the Burnley game to this game, we don't have to over analyze. I just think that extra day's rest. He looked more fresh, and the base.
Oh, you've gone. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I'm having some audio problems, but yeah, I thought fantastic, and Mitra as well. I think just the rest. To be fair, I thought that was the difference today, because I think we faced a better side anyways. In Burnley.
Yeah, I agree. I think the rest was important. I think the players had a bit more energy. I thought the difference between the Burnley game was, I think we had to, even though we had a day's rest, I thought we did have to work harder to get the win, because in that second half we kind of looked a bit kind of passive at times. I thought, like, I was thinking that the game was going to kind of go in their direction, because they like, until like the last 10 minutes, I'd say the momentum was in Fulham's favour. I'd say, like, they were the ones that were kind of looking to, they were building the possession, they were getting balls in the box, and we were just sort of, we were doing well defending, but we were still kind of hanging on a little bit, if you get what I mean. But I just think, considering that, the resilience to actually, stop them scoring, and then just wait for our moments, like the confidence in the team to defend those attacks, wait for our time, and take our chance. Like, and Guehi is something special, and I pray to God that we can just keep him in January and see him until the rest of the season, because we need him. We need him in these, like, he's always stepping up in these moments when we need him the most. Like, so I really hope that we're able to keep him. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does leave. But yeah, I mean, it just sets us up really well now. Like, it's a huge confidence boost for the team to go into that Shelbourne match with 2 Premier League wins in the belt, 4th in the league.
Yeah.
On December the 7th.
Yeah.
With this limited squad. Like, do people realise? Like, I don't think people realise, outside of Palace, how good Glasner is actually doing. I really don't think. I know it is talked about, but I don't think people quite realise how good it actually is. Like, it is actually, it just feels like it can't get much better than this. I think, if you're going to ask me, like, what I think we can achieve in the league, I think it would be around that sort of 6th to 8th place kind of region, because I don't think, as much as I'd love us to go for the top 4, like, if we didn't have Europe, I'd say we could make it in the top 4. But the fact is that Europe is going to make us very tired. Like, it's going to catch up to us if we're going to take this Conference League seriously and go on a run and try and win the thing. Then I think it's going to catch up to us, and we will have, some injuries as well. So I'd say if we got 6th to 8th, like, and a run, and, like, say if we won the Conference League and we got 6th to 8th, like, that would be a remarkable, like, Glasner would have worked wonders if he can, like, I mean, that's presuming that we don't get any help in the transfer window as well, like, which we need to, like, but yeah, I mean, Parish, come on, man, what more do you need to see? Like, if you don't back him now, when will you back him? Do you know what I mean? Like, this is, I mean, what more do you want to like? There's no one else that can do this. Like,
yeah.
I think he's perfectly. There's something about him at Palace that just makes sense, and that's why we need to give everything we can to try and support him.
I know you said 6th to 8th, and Conference League definitely plays a part to that. But if we were to finish in the top 8 in Conference League, then after December, we won't be playing a European game till March, which makes a
Yeah.
big difference. That's why top 8 is very important. If we don't, then we'll be playing a game in Feb. But it's a wild shot. I'm not saying we will finish there, but we are right now 4th.
Yeah.
But if we did finish in the top 5, like, which would be unreal, like,
Yeah.
even thinking about right now,
Yeah.
Champions League nights at Sellers Park, it just doesn't even feel right to even say it. I mean, we've come a long way, and Glasgow's
I
given us
want Real
these
Madrid or
dreams.
Barcelona.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that would be crazy. But
Yeah.
if we did finish in top 5, do you think there's a chance of Gahey signing for another year, or do you think he's gone regardless? And how much of an impact do you think that has on Glasgow staying as well?
That's a very good question. I think, I'll be honest, I think Guehi's gone. Like, he's come out and said it. He said, you know, I'm going to stay for one more year, and then after that, I want a new challenge. So I think regardless, Guehi's gone.
Okay.
I think if we did get in the top 5, which, yeah, it's kind of, I can't even picture it. Like, it would be incredible, mental. I think if we got in the top 5, yeah, I think Glasgow would stay. To be honest, I think he would, because I think he'd see that we're going in a forward, direction, and I think he'd want to try and, see that through. I think he'd try and, stay to see how far can I take this,
Yeah. And of course, if we did end up getting top 5, big if, the revenue from Champions League is just a whole nother level to what you get in a Conference League. So it would give us more financial maneuver, which will, of course, we will need if we're playing in the Champions League rather than a Conference League to compete and on that level. And
imagine that it'd be going from Conference League one season to Champions League the next. Are you kidding?
Yeah, it would be crazy. It would be crazy. Listen, I mean, to me, it would be crazy if we won the Conference League, even though we're one of the favorites. That'll still be crazy. Let's be real. Before the FA Cup, that's
why. That's the thing. So. That's why I really want to go for the Conference League, because a European trophy for this club, like, that would be monumental.
That would feel like the Champions League in itself.
Yeah, exactly. Like, for us, it would feel like the Champions League. People can mock it all they want. I don't give a shit. Like, Crystal Palace winning a European trophy? Are you fucking kidding me? Like,
yeah. Talking about that, just quickly on Shelbourne, how do you think he'll approach that game? I think the midfield is the one area that I'm looking at the most, because he has shuffled the midfield a lot. Do you think he goes with the same Wharton Kamada midfield? I thought they were fantastic today.
Yeah, they were fantastic. I think he might change one of them. I think Wharton is maybe the one that might have to be sacrificed, not because of his performances, just because I think he's kind of a player that does need a little bit managing, because he is prone to injuries. And then we have City on the Sunday as well. So I think maybe Lerma or Hughes could step in ahead of Wharton there. And then maybe Lerma starts. And then maybe, towards the end of the game, if we really need to, I'd say, say if the score's 0-0, for example, I bloody hope it's not, but if it is, like 70 minutes, then put Wharton and Kamada on and just go for it. I think that's probably what's going to happen, something like that, because I do think that Shelbourne, as much as they are ambitious and they're, overjoyed to be in this competition like we are, I think they're going to look at it realistically and think, we're going to have to be a bit sensible in our approach here. We're playing Crystal Palace from the Premier League. Like, they're going to have to kind of have a sort of a low block approach sort of thing. So, I think it's going to be a very different type of fixture to the one that we played today. Yeah. It's going to be more along the sort of Burnley type feel, but they're obviously not as good as Burnley, but you get what I mean. It's going to be hard. I don't want to underestimate them by any stretch. So, yeah, we're going to have to, recover like we have from any other match. We're going to have to treat it the same way. We can't just say, look, we've won 2 matches, we're back now. We're going to, we've got to reset, same approach, same attitude, go for it, just like we would treat it like any other match, and I'm sure we'll do that. I do think that I expect us to get the 3 points, put it that way.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see what happens. But Henry, pleasure talking to you. Hopefully we'll catch up with you after Shelbourne.
Cheers. Thank you.
Take care. Just quickly before we bring on the next guest, some quotes coming out from Glasner. I find it funny, to be fair. Let's just say that when you take into consideration what happened after United, he was asked about, the January transfer window, which we've been talking about in the show as well, about our ambitions, how far can we go? And he said the following: Glasner on January signings, according to Ed Aarons, this is, nobody has to back me because I feel 100% backed by Crystal Palace. I always have the support from everyone here. It's just funny. I'm laughing because it just felt like that wasn't the case about, when was it, a week ago now? Did we play United on a Sunday? Of course, as people have said, Glasner is very emotional when he does lose, and nice to see him say that he doesn't need to. Nobody has to back him. He feels 100% backed by the club in terms of new contract signings and ambitions and pushing forward. That's will praise the mood amongst the fans as well. I'm pretty sure some of you will be happy to hear that coming from Oliver Glasner. Let's bring on Dan next. Dan, 2-1 win against Fulham, 2 wins in a row. What was your thoughts on the game today?
Oh, mate, yeah. Each man today can pat himself on the back. We knew Fulham were a big test at home. But as I said to you, look, if we stay compact and play well, stay in the game for at least 75 to 80 minutes, then I think we'll win. I didn't see the winner coming. When we took off Nketiah and Mateta. But fuck me, mate. Go on. Let's have it. Let's go.
Yeah, and today, we've mentioned a few players over the past few weeks in regards to Uche not getting many opportunities. He did come off the bench and had considerable minutes in the second half. If you're talking about a sub, what did you make of his performance?
Uche put himself around. That's what he's paid to do. You know what I mean? Put yourself around, put your body on the line. Obviously there's something there that Glasner doesn't see right. In not trusting him. But I felt he come in today and proved his worth. Same way today as well. I was worried about. I say I was worried. I was kind of worried about Munoz not playing. But then I've got all the belief in the world in Nathaniel Klein. Yeah, Nathaniel Klein today was class. He come in as cold as anything. He'd only played 5 minutes previous towards that this season, and he come in and he's done an absolute unreal job. The same way today, the same way he's just very much supported, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, he is. And today, I think the only reason why he did get subbed off was because he hasn't played in such a long time. So I didn't really expect him to play 9 minutes. And credit to him, I think Glasner did say that. For Glasner, his man of the match wasn't Nathaniel Klein. Although for me, if you're looking at performances, I think Adam Wharton and Tyreek Mitchell was just unreal. I think the whole squad was very good today. I think the whole squad was. I don't know what you think, Dan, and I've said it a few times, and it might sound a bit boring, but I just think the extra day's rest in comparison to Burnley was the difference today. When you're looking at the performances, in the second half, to be fair. In the second half, for example, Burnley were applying pressure to us, and we couldn't do nothing. We struggled. And thankfully, we scored that first goal in the first half with, Gahey once again. He scored today, but with a fantastic assist against Burnley. I'm just leaning towards that, to be fair. I don't know what else I could really say in terms of the difference between Burnley and today, because we know the quality that these players have. We know that they shouldn't have played as they did against Burnley, and today we saw it. With an extra day's worth of rest.
The day's rest is highly important, just that one extra day. It showed you today how good they really are. Wharton's performance today as well. I've got to go on that performance. That pass to Ty. I think it was to Ty. Yeah, the pass to Ty with the outside of his left foot. You know what I mean? Bang, straight to Ty, and then Ty's come back in, knocked it to Wharton. Wharton's flashed it into Nketiah, and Nketiah's flashed it into the bottom back. You know, that's great. That's great goal. That's a great goal. You know what I mean? And like just today, they had an extra little hop in their step. You know what I mean? And I don't know where the ceiling is for this team. You know, they surprise me. They surprise me every single week. You know, I know Fulham's a good little hunting ground for Palace. You know, we haven't been beaten there in years, but to come to do that today, to put your balls against the wall, you know, and then in like the 85th minute or whenever it was, you know, to eventually get the winner, you know, after you're extremely knackered and tired, you know, I just feel, come on, let's just do this. Let's just do this.
Yeah, and we did do it. We managed to get the win. Big win, up to 4th now in the league. What do you think we can achieve?
Oh, I'm not. It depends on the window. It depends on the window. In my eyes, we need five players. In my eyes, I reckon Conor Gallagher, Hayden Hackney, get the right back in from Bayern Munich. Bowley, I think his name is, or something. Get a strong centre forward, and then I feel that's a decent window. Maybe a right 10 or a left 10 as well. And
I think that's a lot. I'll be honest, I don't think we're going to be doing that much in the window. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I think at most we'll sign 1 or 2 players. I don't see us signing about 5 players or so. I don't think we need to. I don't think we need to. I understand what you mean, but
if we really want to go on an assault for 4th place and to win the Europa League, I think we need 5 players. I think we're going to need 5 players, but it depends. Like Glasson doing all this, like saying about the soup and the beef the other night and stuff like that, and then saying he doesn't want to get back personally and stuff. You know, I think it's all just a bit of a reverse psychology. You know, it's I don't know what's going on. It's crazy, but there's this dream of mine is still going on, and like I just don't want my bubble to be popped, you know. And at the end of the day, if we finish top 5, then oh my lord, that's just amazing. Top 5 and win the Europa League, I'll be so impressed,
Well, talking about the Conference League, we've got another Conference League game on Thursday, and we're going to the final 2 games in a matter of weeks. First up, Shelbourne. How do you feel about that one after the wins against Burnley and Fulham?
I'm confident about Shelbourne. You know, nothing much needs to be changed. I don't feel. Maybe start Canvo for Richards, give him a rest. Sosa maybe for Klein, and Benitez maybe for Henderson. It doesn't really need to change, but I feel they should go with the starting lineup that was there today and bomb it all out, get it all done and open dusted with in 60 minutes, and then hopefully then change what needs to be changed.
Yeah. Let's see how he approaches that one. But Dan,
we have to win. We have to win it. We have to win that game. We have to.
That's the thing. Today we could have drew and still be fine, but of course no one's upset with a win. But against Shelbourne, it's a bit more serious. We can't really afford to drop any more points. We have to go and try and get the job done. I'm confident. I think if we get the midfield right, I think the midfield is very important. In a few European games, I know we worked against Alkmaar. We haven't quite got the midfield right, and to be fair, I think losing Gay against Strasbourg cost us, and we cost ourselves. Forget about Gay. We miss open goals. So we have to be clinical as we have been. But yeah, we've got enough to get the job done. It's on us. Let's see if we do turn up on Thursday. So yeah.
I think if it stays as it is though, we play for Fiorentina.
Yeah, but that will change though in terms of like the league table moving in the next few games. I doubt we'll remain 18th and they'll remain 17th. They might go up to 13th. We might go up to 7th or 11th. So that will change. But ideally, let's just get in the top 8. As much as I love seeing Palace playing in Europe, let's get in the top 8. Let's get the job done against Shelbourne and Coots. And then, I just don't want that extra game. It'll be nice. I mean, no one's upset with watching Palace play in Europe, right? We was all happy to watch Palace play against Fredrikstad. But if we want to achieve what we're talking about, potentials about top 5 or 6, where however you want to see it, then you just want as less games as possible in Europe, as well as advancing us further. So top 8 would be massive.
These two, we need to attack these 2 games, get them done, get them won, and then hopefully to get them finishing top 8. With the points that we'll have. Hopefully, fingers crossed, finishing top 8 with the points that we'll have. Yeah. So
let's see.
Just get them done and get them won. Get them done and get them won. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Dan. Take care.
Up the Palace, D. Thank you very much for what you do, brother. We love you, man.
No worries. Take care. Thank you for coming on. That was Dan having a say. If you do want to call into the show, you can do so live by going in the live comment section and clicking on the pinned comment to join us live. Let's bring on Alex next. Alex,
hey,
what a win! What a win! What a massive 3 points as well. What was your thoughts on the game?
I thought it was very. I mean, it changed as it went because I thought, well, first off, I don't see a lot of people giving credit to Fulham. I thought they were the second best team we've played all year for most of the game, and then at some point we figured something out. I think it helped that they had our best moments in the second half were right after they substituted, and for some reason Emil Smith Rowe seems to have our number, and so does Chukwueze, I guess, because they were both very good, I thought, for a lot of the game. That's all I want to talk about Fulham for. I'll give them credit, but I do think we've given a lot of credit to Ty, and I think he's the man of the match for me. I don't think it's very close because you can really list on your hand, like almost 2 hands, all of the great things he did today. With the cross to Klein where he misses, the cross to Uche where he hits it one time and you had no idea what was going to happen, and that really leads to the corners that get the goal, the second one. I just like that corner routine is just like, that was so fun. Like, I love to see a good dummy, and I it's a shame that the Pinot one didn't, like, it got blocked, because it was just such a great there's just like a lot of things within the game that made it like an enjoyable watch for me, even though we weren't on top for much of it, I felt like. But once we got up 2-1, I thought we were great. And I know it's not a lot of the game, but I thought we controlled it great. And that's a great sign, because like, you bring on Devaney and he does exactly what you want him to do. He harassed them. Like, did they even have a shot the last like 10 minutes? I don't even remember, D.
Yeah, a few crossed into the box, but it was dealt with by Dean Henderson.
Yep.
Well, you mentioned Devaney there.
What a save by Henderson in the first half, by the way, on Emil Smith Rowe. I don't know if anyone's mentioned that, but that was one of the best saves I've seen in a while. So
yeah, after coming with a fantastic save against Burnley as well, fingertip save. So yeah, he's had some big moments for us, definitely.
I guess that one's a little better because that was so point blank, but both are great saves. Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess today the positive is that with a win, I know Gay's confidence is high, but Nketiah, his first league start for us, and a goal in his first league start as well.
Yeah, and I was impressed that I don't know if anyone's mentioned this, but the first 5 minutes he's got Eddie on the right, Pino on the left, just to see what's what, and he instantly realizes that Pino and Klein is the only thing that's going to work on the right, and not because Pino's going to be able to do any sort of dribbling over there. It's mostly just him getting it out of his feet and trying to get it to someone else. I thought Pino was good in the first half, and he started to tail off until the goal. He had a really nice pass to Mateta, and I don't know what's going on with Mateta. I thought Mateta today was a turnover, like on a few that actually led to fast breaks for the other team, which I've never seen in a long time. So I'm glad that he got off early, and hopefully he'll be back to his best at some point this year. I'm starting to lose a little faith with him, but he's got a lot of rope, and he's earned it. So yeah, but like I just there's a lot of people that deserve a lot of credit. I thought Kamada was incredible in the second half. Do you remember like the move that leads to the Uche shot? That it's basically Daichi, a one-touch ball just out in space that gets Ty like booking it so that he can hit the one-time pass to Uche. It was wonderful, and he had a few passes like that. So for a game where I don't think we controlled it that much, like, by the way, Graham Lasso, you suck. Like that commentary was terrible today, in America. Like, and I'm usually not a big, like, I don't have an issue with Graham Lasso, but today for some reason he thought that Fulham was wonderful and that we were like smashing, grabbing it, and I don't like that. I don't. That wasn't my opinion of the game. I didn't like who thinks that was like a domination from Fulham. I'm giving them a lot of credit, but like, come on.
I thought we let them have the ball on purpose. It's not like they were dominating us with the ball. We let them have the ball, but they didn't do much with it because we allowed them to have possession and we closed the gaps in the best of areas. Marcus Silva did talk at halftime to Sky Sports saying, how Mateta is dropping deep, making it a bit more difficult for us because there's no space in midfield for us to operate. So we purposefully, I felt like, gave them the possession. And then
that was part of the reason.
The 1-1 result was fair. I thought the draw was fair going to halftime because after we scored a goal, I thought it was a fantastic goal by them, but they kind of got momentum.
One of the best against us. Top 10 best goals I've seen since being a Palace fan. Just wonderful 1-2, and just the but Wharton's pass to get started on the first goal, like that toe, what is it, outswing toe, like both were just great. Like the Wilson shot and his pass to get that whole play started was all very good. So I'm feeling better than I was last week. I came on here last week and I didn't feel like there was a lot of good things to say. So I'm just glad to see that. Well, first off, I want to say, can we not be so basic as to say it's only because of tiredness and it's only because of this, it's only because of that? Because these are people. These aren't like Tamagotchis that like get energy and that's how energy works. Like, it's also emotional. It has to. That's why Oliver Glasser said that the best recovery is winning. Like, so let's not make it so basic that, we have so many games that it's like impossible to like try to recharge yourself. It's obviously having a toll, but like it's not a linear process. So like today's performance was better than Burnley's, and I don't think it's because we had an extra day of like rest. I think it was just we were at it better, and we certainly just had some moments that I really enjoyed watching, especially in the midfield. Whoever said that, I think it was Lou, that said how good we're in the midfield. I totally agree with that, and you probably did too, D. So
midfield. I thought Kamada and Wharton just controlled it. I think on and off the ball, both of them were fantastic. And of course, we changed the midfield with Lerma going in there after Kamada was pushed to number 10 position with the subs. But I just think quickly looking ahead to the Shelbourne game, I think you just have to start with those two. But of course, Glasgow does know best. But based on what we've seen so far in the Conference League, I think the Hughes and Lerma midfield, even though Hughes barely played against Strasbourg and it was more about us missing chances, I just think it's just a bit risky, especially with how Ward and Kamada played today.
Yeah, and Hughes has already had a few pretty major injuries in his career, so I don't know if he's going to have the same longevity as other players. Like, he might tail off faster than others. But I trust him too. I'm thinking. So do you think Eddie's going to start again? I think he will.
I need to think about it. I've been enjoying this result so much that I've just on Shelburne. I really did think about the only thing I thought about was the midfield. I haven't looked at the whole thing. Canvo could start right wing back as well. You know, there's other areas, but that Gahey winner, looking at the league table, feels fantastic. So yeah, I haven't really delved into Shelburne as much of yet.
You know
but
what? Let's enjoy it then.
Yeah, well,
Shelbourne will happen.
You mentioned it. What do you think
Yeah.
with Eddie?
Oh,
do you think he'll start?
I think he's definitely he'll get at least 45 minutes, but I don't know if it'll be at the start or at the finish. I think he'll get again to feed into the legs, like, and I think some of it has to do with like because he is not the type of 9 that Mateta is, or even Uche, or like he's more like a Sar where he's trying to figure out runs and stuff like that, and he's still got like a lot of physicality, but he's not like looking for the long pass and just trying to control it with the guy on his back. He has to get more physicality, and I think it's been smart for Ali to kind of bring him in, and Matetia's back. It wasn't that great today, but Matetia is back. It was more Incadia today, but I think JP will be back to his best at some point. I do have faith, but I'm was not happy with how he played today.
Yeah, well, he's tired. I think he's been overused this season for various different reasons. Remember, Nketiah had his injury, so you couldn't really come off the bench, and then Uche and Esse, we know that drama. We don't have to get into that again. So, you know, there's been lack of options up there, and we just had to use JP more than we should have. And that's the reason why now that Glazer has got a few opportunities, he does take him off. If you notice, he did, you know, he's been doing that quite more frequently, which he does need to. And I think that plays a part. Remember, he's also playing for France as well. It's not like during the international breaks he's had a rest. He's been traveling and playing. So yeah, it has been a tolling season on JP, and I'm pretty sure after December things should calm down in that regards, and he'll be back to his best. But Alex, great talking to you. Let's see what happens against Shelbourne.
Up the Palace, man.
Up the Palace. Take care. Let's bring on Tim next. Tim, big win, 2-1 win against Fulham. What was your thoughts on the game?
I'm going nothing but positive today. I'm gonna go all positive because I know there are things that we need to talk about. I'm not going to talk about those things right now. I thought this was excellent. I was listening to the game, but then I got to see the highlights. I got to watch the goals. Man, great goals. Fantastic goals. I mean, Wharton, what a pass. What a pass in for Eddie's goal. Fantastic. Loved it. Mark with the, that's a great header. It's also a great delivery by Pino. I'm so happy with. I love this team, D. I love the club, but I specifically I love the way that this team is so resilient. That's the word I would use. Resilient. What a fantastically resilient group we have at this club right now. They are outstanding. I thought it was really interesting. By the way, justice for Tyreek. Thomas Tuchel, you have to answer for this, Tuchel. Where is he? He's supposed to be in the England lineup. I don't care that you want a fullback to get forward. If you're going into the World Cup, you need somebody that can defend. There's nobody on that side of the pitch that can defend even remotely as good as Tyreek is. And let me just make this point, D. I mean, I'm getting a little overhyped about this, but I need you to I need people to hear this. Just process this statement for a second. Tyreek Mitchell as the outball. Tyreek Mitchell was the outball. He was, this is incredible, D. He had he won 6 duels, and he completed, get this, Tyreek completed more take-ons, 3, than any other Palace player. Excuse me? Is this the same player?
Yeah, I need to bring up Glasner's comments
Yeah,
because
go
Glasner.
for it. Go for
I don't think Glasner had much faith as well in the beginning in terms of him being this attacking left wing back. Because I just remember there was a comment he made, and it was along the lines of, look, he's not a young player. He's not old player, but he's also not a young player. And this is just the type of profile he is. He's going to be great defensively, but he's going to have limitations going forward. But I just genuinely feel like that has changed. Like he is a threat going forward. His crosses are much, much better. Much, 100%. Much better. And today, yeah, I mean, fantastic balls into the box. Balls into the box. And you could have potentially got an assist.
Right.
On another day.
So that's impressive. But the thing I want to comment on and why I'm so positive, like I think going into, I think Alex may have made this comment, Dan may have made this comment as well. Winning feeds the legs. Winning feeds the confidence. Winning cures almost everything. And when you have a strong mentality, you can do just about anything. This team has, these kinds of games are very important because they do something for you. When you win, when a lot of people think you shouldn't, and you're suffering from some injuries and you're losing some of your key personnel, but you find a way anyway, that does so much good for you. It feeds you in a lot of different ways. I know we'll talk about this. I'm not going to talk about it today because I want to stay 100% positive. It does not change. And hopefully, Steve, if you're listening, love you, but this changes nothing about what's needed in January. That does not change. January still needs to be a period of thoughtful and highly meaningful investment for this club. So this result changes nothing in that area. Having said that, my goodness, man, we're on a heater, and that is partly due to Glasner. No question. I love this manager, but I think this team has an incredible mentality that they bring to every game, and that means a lot. I think this was a very good game for Uche, a very good game for Pino. And by the way, D, I'm sold on Pino now. I'm sold on him, not because he's the finished article. We can have a lot of discussion about where his game needs to improve. The reason I'm sold on him is because the manager obviously trusts him and he delivers moments. He's obviously doing what the manager wants and he delivers moments. So we need him to go up 3 or 4 more levels. I think that's pretty clear. I don't think anybody doesn't believe that, but he's obviously got something about him that the manager loves, and that matters.
Yeah, 100% it does matter. And when you're looking at the comments, thank you to Patrick. He's watching this and he sent it to me whilst he was talking about what Blaser said about Mitchell. And it was this comment. He said it, funny enough, nearly a year ago, 27th of December 2024. And he said basically along the lines of this. I'll actually read the full quotes. This was Glasner last year about Tyrick Mitchell. Said the biggest potential he has is in possession, entering the final third. I think he can be involved more and have quicker solutions. This is what we are working on daily with him. He is very consistent. He's always available and plays to a higher level. Fellow wing back, that's the thing. Oh, and he added the following. We have to accept that he'll never be a Daniel Munoz. Glasner conceded. Danny has a natural skill in an attacking way. Mitchell comes from more the defensive part. I think he has improved already, but he still has potential within this. If you have both attacking wing backs, you need more defensive sixes. When you have one defensive wing back, you can have more attacking six. Our sixes are more defensive, so we can encourage Mitchell to be a bit more attacking and create more situations. He's trying to improve, and there's still a long season to go. He said he will never be a Daniel Munoz. I'm not saying he's getting Daniel Munoz type of numbers, but he's definitely contributing going forward. I think he's not like...
He was the outball. He was the outball.
Yeah, like today he was Daniel Munoz for us when he needed to be. Whereas like a year ago, Glasner basically said, I don't think he will ever be like a Daniel Munoz. But, you can see it from a year ago to now. He did say he needs to, he's been consistent. Defensively, he's fantastic. And there's still a long way in terms of the potential to go for him to reach that levels. And I think, funny enough, now we're approaching a year with Glasgow working with him, and as he said, on a daily basis, I don't think that's really the case this season because it seems like we barely have any training due to Europe. But he has improved. He has improved. If you reflect on those comments, he can still be the outlet in games like this. Not even in games like this, even in games when Daniel Munoz is there. He's definitely more of a threat going forward, which has shocked me the most, and credit to him. Mitchell's always been fantastic defensively, but he's turning into a real player. I know you mentioned about, Tuchel is looking at attacking wing backs, etc. But I don't think Mitchell's that bad.
No, he
But
definitely
he's not bad
isn't.
at all. He's not bad at all. He's very good defensively, and he's not bad at all going forward. So he should 100% be in contention.
No, there's no question. I think it's an indefensible. Look, I'm not rooting for England in the World Cup, but I think it's indefensible that Tyreek Mitchell doesn't even get a shout for the England squad. I think that is an indefensible, unjust position. That is madness, absolute madness. You need to be, if you're going to win, look, this is what we know. This has been true ever since I started watching football years ago. If you can't defend, you can't win. And in a tournament setting, you're going to have games where you're going to be off it, and you're going to rely on really tough, really disciplined defending. And you need to be able to bring up somebody off the bench that can do that. Is there anybody in the England squad that could do that better at that position than Tyreek Mitchell? And I will punch somebody if you say Miles Lewis Skelly.
No, I don't think he's the answer.
He's not the answer. He's not the answer.
To be fair, I don't think he was in the last squad for England anyway. So I don't know. I don't know what Tuchel's thinking. To be fair, in a greedy way for us, it's good that he hasn't been called up for England because at least he's had those international breaks to have a bit of a rest because of Sosa's injuries. It would have been a bit more concerning if he did have those extra few games, as we've seen with Mateta so far. Fatigue is definitely playing a part in terms of his performance. But do you know, Tim, that we have the best best away record in the Premier League? We're number one, 16 points away from home. No other Premier League side has had more points away from home than Palace. However,
is that calendar year? Is that 2025?
No, this season.
That's this season.
16
nice.
points, 16 points in 8 games. However, at home, even though we've only lost one game, of course, there's been a few draws. We are only 15th in the league table. Why do you think our away performance or results is better than the home results?
I don't know. That's very consistent with last season, wasn't it? Because last season we would go on the road and we would be just fearsome. Like no one wanted to play us when we were coming into town because we were just rinsing teams when we'd come into town. So it's continued the pattern, which is interesting. We need to be a little bit better at home. I'm not sure what accounts for that. One thing that could account for that is when you are playing on the road, you tend to start with you start from a base of a really, really good, really, really sound defensive shape. And Palace are the number 2 defense in the league. We have conceded, only Arsenal has conceded fewer goals. Only Arsenal has, lost fewer games. We are a elite defensive squad. So you asked earlier, and then I want to be able to get, because I can see Xavier in the background, and I want to let him get on here. So I'll say 2 things because you asked about these, so I'll give you an answer. Can we finish in the top 4? Yes, we can. It will require the foundations of this team, which is its defense, to hold at the level that it is currently playing. You're going to have an elite defensive unit the entire season. So no, Mark can't go anywhere in January. I don't care how much money we get offered for Mark in January.
Yeah, he can't. He
can't go. He can't go. I'm sorry. We need to keep this defensive unit together. So that's number 1. The second is, do you rest a bunch of players for Shelburne? I don't think a bunch of players, but I do think you need to rotate. I think some players who are on the fringes earned a little bit of credit today. You got to go for it. You got to win that game, but I don't think it hurts you to get a little rotation from the start. And if you need to bring players on to go for it, fair enough. You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. I wonder how he's going to approach that one, because of course that one we can't really afford to drop any points, so we have to make sure we get it correct.
You got to
In
win.
the league,
Yeah,
in the league, it's
win.
tight. Don't get me wrong. It's not like in the league we can,
Yeah.
drop points left, right, center, because you
No.
lose 2 games, you could drop down to 12th or how tight the league is. But it just gives you a bit more flexibility considering how many games are left in the league if we was to drop any points. But in the conference league, we've only got 2 games, final 2, and we've made it very difficult. But we need to try getting to the top 8. So yeah, we have to make sure we get it right against Shelbourne and Coops as well. But look, Tim, great talking to you as always, and hopefully catch up with you. I don't know if you're free in the Shelbourne game, but we'll message you.
I don't know if I'll be free on the Shelbourne game, but I'm on vacation as of the 19th. So from that period on, I'll be around. So we can talk some more. And Sean O'Hare, you are correct. I am very American in my in my football backing. I'm loud and terrible, but this is the benefit I have of that. I ain't gonna let ESPN get away with their utter top 6, super 6 nonsense. We're top 4, so I'm coming for you again, ESPN. You will give us our respect. But yes, it's a fair criticism. I'll take it. All right, D, up the Palace.
All right, then, Tim. Take care. That was Tim having his say. Let's bring on Xavier. Xavier, you're out and about. You're going for a walk.
Yeah, right.
I don't know what time it is over there.
It's 3:10, so I'm just walking home from the pub after watching the match. You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you? How are you after that win?
I'm buzzing, bro. I can't lie. I would have snapped your hand up for a point, to be honest. Like when it was 1-1, especially when it was getting late, I definitely would have taken a point, considering the state of the squad. And you know what it is, especially after, getting 3 points midweek. But it was just, I thought we were excellent in the second half, to be honest. I thought the subs really changed the match, to be honest. Like, Lerma came on, did really well. Uche did really well. I'm hoping, that, gives them a bit of confidence. But I thought the subs really changed us. And yeah, it's brilliant, to be honest. Like, obviously, up to 4th and all that. But yeah, it was great. Like, I thought we were really good. Like, just some of the performances today, I just thought were just top notch. Like, obviously, Gay, getting the winner. But even if, he hadn't done that, I thought he was excellent. Wharton was excellent. Ty was excellent. So I'm buzzing, really, bro. Like, I can't lie. Like, it's just, in this tough stretch that we're having, we're basically playing like every 3 days. And like to get, 6 points, on the road. Obviously, Burnley aren't, a great side, but Fulham are decent. The league position isn't great for them, but like it's a good side. So I'm buzzing, really. Like it was just a great result today, especially considering the state of the squad. Like I'm just buzzing, really.
Yeah. And what do you think the difference was today? Alex did say that the confidence from Burnley definitely helped us. I'm leaning more towards the fatigue element and the extra days worth of rest, because you look at the whole squad's performance today. I think Mateta was tired, but Mateta, if you look at the season he's been having, he's still been scoring goals, and I think fatigue is definitely contributing to some of his misses so far this season. But even though he didn't have any of those, I know he had that one in the first half, but I think that was a difficult task. Bassi was right on him, so it's not like an easy task there. But apart from Mateta, I think everyone else looked more fresh. And to me, that was 3 days rest rather than 2 days rest. Do you agree with me, or do you think it's something else?
No, I think that's right. Like I was just about to say that when you're asking what you think the difference is. Like I just think we looked a little bit fresher today. Like I thought Wharton on Wednesday, like I thought he was just like his legs were just gone after about an hour. And I was worried about that today in terms of like how we're gonna look, after the hour mark. Like we get to the halftime 1-1. And I was just like, if we have any chance of winning this game, we're gonna need to score a goal in the first 15 minutes. That really feared for us, after, the hour mark. But I thought today everyone just looked a lot fresher. Like obviously Wharton goes the whole 90 today. Just looked much more fresh, and he just ran the game. Like he was unbelievable today. And it was like, I think he completed like 95% of his passes, and we know the kinds of passes that he's attempting. Like he's not playing the ball sideways and backwards. So that's just a ridiculous kind of pass completion for the kind of passes that he's playing in. I thought he was the difference today, just in terms of like the midfield battle and what he was able to do in terms of getting us forward. Like I thought we were like genuinely dangerous, which was like a bit weird because we couldn't really get him behind. Like we just don't have any like runners in the team without Sarr. Like I thought Eddie, did a decent job, but this is not the same as Sarr. So I think we just looked a little bit fresh. Like everyone just looked a little bit more up for it, and I think that made the difference today for sure.
Yeah, it definitely did. And, you know, we haven't got easy tasks against Shelbourne. On paper, yes, we are the favourites. We've been the favourites to go on and win this Conference League, but we found out along the way that it's not going to be as easy as some people may have expected. How do you feel about that one?
I'm feeling good. I mean, after today, like I think that's a huge boost. Like I was talking to you about it in the group chat that we have with my dad and Louis. Like the way that we celebrated that goal, you could tell how much it meant to the players. Like Mark is always like the calmest guy on the pitch in terms of like even when we score, it's always like, all right, we need to like focus, go again. And he was like buzzing after that goal. And I just think that this was like a massive win for everyone. I think the boost of going forward today, I just think it made a massive difference to everyone. And I expect on Thursday that I'm sure legs will be a little bit weary just because we played so many matches recently. But I think that was a huge boost for everyone today to get those 3 points. And I expect us to be at it. Being back home for the first time in 4 matches, I think will be helpful for us. And Shelbourne haven't been going well, in the Conference League. I don't think they've won a match. I'm not even sure if they scored a goal, to be honest. So I think I'm expecting us to get 3 points. Maybe it's a little bit more difficult than they might anticipate, but I think we'll get the job done. So I think it was just really big for everyone today to get those 3 points, and I think it, sets us going. In front of like Thursday's a huge match, to be honest. Like if you had asked me if I'd rather have 3 points today or Thursday, I would have chosen Thursday. Obviously, getting them in both matches would be ideal. But no, I'm really looking forward to it. I think today was a big boost, and I think it provides a good platform for us to win on Thursday, to be honest.
Yeah, Zav, always great talking to you, bro.
Yeah.
Of course, we'll catch up with you most likely, I think, tomorrow. The preview, right?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, sounds good. I'll be on the preview. So, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, cool.
Take care.
All right, then. See you. Okay, it's been a long show. Of course, there's been a lot of people calling in, but we're going to wrap up there. But stay on the stream if you do want more football content. I'll be going on 12 Man Podcast, and you'll be redirected automatically as we go ahead and look at this is London show. So, of course, there's some angry Arsenal fans, angry West Ham fans, and happy, maybe, Tottenham fans. So I'll be there smiling. So if you do want to watch more content, you can do so. But if you have enjoyed this, drop a like, subscribe, and until next time, up the Palace.